Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Hire Vet 2021 Virtual Job Fair event series. Today, we will be hearing from 3 employers hiring for positions across multiple industries. Each presenter will speak for approximately 10 minutes to give you some information about their company, and will highlight the job openings they currently have. After presentations have concluded, we will then be transitioning into small group discussions with employers. Small group discussions will be held as one continuous 30-minute session, and you will be able to move freely from room to room. Today's session is being recorded and will be made available on the Illinois workNet YouTube channel for you to refer to later. Now, we will be hearing an opening statement from IDES Director Kristen Richards.
Hello, my name is Kristen Richards, and I am the Acting Director of the Illinois Department of Employment Security. On behalf of Governor Pritzker, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and participating employers, we want to welcome you to the Hire Vets 2021 Virtual Job Fair. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced all of us to adapt to changing circumstances. This virtual event is part of that process change. Although I cannot thank and welcome you in person, please know that we are all here together in spirit. And this event is just one of the many ways we work to support our nation's heroes. The Hire Vets 2021 Job Fair is part of the Get Hired initiative that Governor Pritzker launched in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Illinois' workforce partners have held over 160 events statewide, with over 11,000 job seekers in attendance. Events have ranged from single employer recruitment opportunities to larger events with Fortune 500 companies. We know firsthand the value a veteran brings to an employer's team. Veterans bring mission-driven stability and dedication to companies who are fortunate enough to hire them. For this event, we have brought together 47 employers offering 962 employment opportunities across the state. This virtual series will provide veteran job seekers with one-on-one access to these employers, allowing job seekers to ask questions and giving those company representatives the opportunity to provide details about their open positions. In addition, veterans will have access to virtual programs designed specifically to enhance their ability to secure a career. Please take advantage of this and join a virtual group. My hope is that this event helps connect you with the career opportunity you have been searching for. Thank you, and welcome to the Hire Vets 2021 Virtual Job Fair.
Excellent. Well, one thing that I would like to draw your attention to before we kind of kick things off here, you should have received this information via email, but I want to put it here as well before we reach the breakout rooms portion of the event. As you'll see there on your screen, one thing that we do encourage folks to download is the most recent version of Zoom client for meetings. The reason that we ask that you do so is it allows you to be able to utilize all of the most recent features that Zoom has, specifically, or more specifically, excuse me, for the breakout rooms portion of the event. And most notably, the ability to be able to move freely from room to room. So this will allow you to be able to, again, meet with all of the employers that we have on the line. And we'll just kind of streamline the process and make things a little bit smoother as far as transition is concerned. So if you do need to download this, you are free to leave the session. Don't worry, you won't be kept out permanently. If you have to download this, I'll keep an eye on the waiting room. You can rejoin the session, once you have done that if you haven't yet already. So just wanted you folks to be aware of that before we kick things off here. Our next kind of piece of our presentation for today will be a JVSG presentation that will cover some of the services that IDES has to offer for our veteran community. Steve, are you available to present, sir?
I am available, and I'll get started right now. Good morning, fellow veterans. My name is Steve Hutton. My job at the Illinois Department of Employment Security is as a Veterans Career Coach, commonly called a DBOP, a Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist. I've been with IDES since July 2006 I served in the Marine Corps from 1975 to 1985 in the infantry and also as a company driver. The Illinois Department of Employment Security appreciates your selfless service of our U.S. military service members and their spouses. Next screen, please. The objective of this presentation is the introduction of the jobs for Veterans State Grant Program, otherwise called JVSG. We will talk about the Veterans Career Coach, also called the DVOP, and we'll also talk about the Veterans Business Specialist, also called the LEVER. Next screen. The state of Illinois receives a Jobs for Veterans State Grant annually to fund the JVSG program, which consists of two groups of veterans employment representatives. The first one is the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program, the DVOP, the specialist. There are 20 authorized DVOPs in the state of Illinois. And the second one is the local veterans employment rep, which is called a LEVER, and there are 18 authorized LEVERs in the state of Illinois. The number of positions are based solely on the annual grant funding amount from the JVSG. Also, as you look at this, you can see if anyone had ever decided they wanted to be a DVOP or wanted to be a LEVER, these are the prerequisites right there on the screen. Okay, next screen, please. Now, the Veterans Career Coach, or the DVOP, is specifically trained to provide assistance to our veterans most in need. Our core functions as DVOPs are to conduct an assessment interview with each veteran that self-attests to one or more significant barriers to employment. Okay. We also collaborate and create an individual employment plan with the veteran. We develop client interviews through job orders for veterans. And we partner with the Veterans Business Specialist, the LEVER, to develop job opportunities directly with area employers in your area. Next screen, please. Now, the Veterans Business Specialist, or the LEVER, their primary focuses are to promote the advantages of hiring veterans. They go out to employers and do this. They develop job opportunities for veterans that are working with the Veterans Career Coach or any American Job Center staff, commonly called AJC staff, but they're American Job Center right down at the unemployment office, or the employment office, as I like to say. They advocate for all veterans within their American Job Center's operational area. So therefore, the LEVER travels to many employers throughout the state. Also, in partnership with the DVOP, the Veterans Career Coach, they train the American Job Center staff and partners on how to provide employment services to all veterans. Okay, next screen. Now, if you have any questions at all, please send us an email if you need any employment assistance. Be sure to include your zip code so that we can connect you to the closest American Job Center. Visit IllinoisJobLink.com if you are searching for a job or have a job opportunity to post, or visit the email address on this page. And you can see it right below the thank you. It says des.illinois myvetrep@illinois.gov. Okay, thank you for your time today, and we'll send you right back to Dan. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Steve. And one thing that I do want to note, I saw a few new folks join the session here. Just want you all to be aware that we are recording the session, and all of the information that's already been presented and will be presented will be accessible again within 48 hours after this session on the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel. So again, if there's anything that you need to review, that will be available at that time. The next piece of information that we'd like to share with folks on the line is just a real brief kind of video outlining some of the resources that we have available to veterans on Illinois WorkNet.
Are you a veteran looking for work support and additional services? The Illinois WorkNet Veteran Assistance Guide has you covered. So let's go over how to get to the guide and see what's included. From the WorkNet homepage, which you can access by visiting illinoisworknet.com, scroll down to the Guides and Tools section and select the icon for Veteran Assistance Guide. In selecting this guide, it'll take you to a new page and we'll show you how to navigate through the guide. You can select the arrows here to navigate through the slides, or you can select the hamburger menu in the middle and click on the entry you are interested in. And all of our guides on WorkNet begin with an overview slide that lets you know what all is included. On this first slide, we have links to the Service Finder, which is a directory you can search to find local organizations to assist you with career and work support services. And we also have a couple of searches, the Career Wages and Trends and Demand Occupation Search, which you can use to explore careers, their expected wages, job growth, and much more. And going to the next slide, we have an article that links to connecting to benefits and services. And this article encourages you to contact your local Veteran Service Officer, or VSO. And VSOs provide free assistance to veterans when applying for benefits at a state and federal level. They can also provide you with resources on permits, transportation, education and training, and employment options. So be sure to access the link here and contact your VSO. This article also includes links for more information about health benefits, pension benefits, disability compensation, life insurance, and home loan benefits. And going back to the guide, our next article that we're going to take a look at is translating your skills. So you learned a bunch of skills in the armed forces, and now you need to take a look at how the skills you learned there can apply to other jobs and career opportunities. And within this article, there's a link to a website where you can enter your military occupational classification, or MOC code, to identify your military skills, search for titles and job descriptions from the MOC, and keep track of all this information using a military to civilian skills worksheet. This article also includes references to other Illinois WorkNet tools worth looking into, such as the Job Skills Guide that covers basic skills all employers want in employees, the Careers, Wages, and Trends and Demand Occupations tools that we just mentioned earlier, training programs in Illinois, and more. So the next article we're going to take a look at is the Preparing and Searching for a Job After the Military. So it's best to have a plan when searching for jobs, and this article includes several helpful resources and things to consider, such as using resume sample templates, an action verb list you can use to boost your resume, how to write an elevator speech, different outlets to find job listings online and off, marketing your skills, and more. And going back to the guide here, the next article we're going to take a look at is Veteran Assistance Resources in Illinois. The IDVA, or the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, focuses on helping veterans and their families by providing guidance on resources and services locally, statewide, and federally. You can visit their website to learn more, from job and entrepreneur opportunities to housing assistance and more. IDES, or the Illinois Department of Employment Services, Also helps veterans with job searches, unemployment insurance, tax credits, adjusting to civilian life, and more. Next, we have the Illinois Department of Human Services, the Department of Rehabilitation Services, which includes a listing of services, resources, and contact information for those needing assistance with disabilities. Additionally, this article includes several online veteran job searches that you can look through. And returning to the guide, we have a few more slides on organizations and websites that we just covered, such as the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, the IDES Veteran Services page, and IDHS's Rehabilitation Services. So get started today with the Veteran Assistance Guide on Illinois WorkNet. And as a reminder, we cover a new and different feature of Illinois WorkNet for job seekers, employers, and our workforce partners every Wednesday at 1 p.m. See you next time.
Excellent. Well, with the conclusion of that, we're going to go ahead and delve right into our employer panel for today. First up, as you'll see on your screen, we have the Illinois Department of Human Services. Jesse, are you available to present?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go. So when I want to say next slide, I can just say next slide, and
Yes, sir.
we'll just do that.
Just let me know.
Okie dokie. All right. So everyone, thank you for coming today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to look at some opportunities. My name is Jesse. I am with the Illinois Department of Human Services, but more specifically, I work for the Bureau of Recruitment and Hiring. I'm on the recruitment side, and what we do is give information about our jobs and try to get people to come work for us. Next slide, please. Okay, the Illinois Department of Human Services is an agency that's about 13,000 plus employees large. We're one of the biggest agencies in the state. We usually tie with corrections for how many people we have employed. We have 6 different divisions with the Illinois Department of Human Services. They're on screen here, but I'll read them off. There's the Division of Developmental Disabilities, Family and Community Services, Mental Health, Rehabilitation Services, Substance Use Prevention and Recovery, and the newest division, the Division of Early Childhood. So as you can see, we are focused on providing community help. We help the citizens of Illinois through various state and federally funded programs. On average, 1 out of every 3 residents in the state of Illinois are affected in some way, shape, or form, or receive some help for us for our benefits. So if you come work for us, you are making a huge difference in the lives of making your fellow people get the aid and live better lives. Next slide, please. So this is our jobs hot list. These are just the ones I could fit on one slide. As I said earlier, we have 13,000 plus employees. So we have a whole heck of a lot of jobs. We cover the gamut from office work to IT to just about anything. But we need psychologists, physicians, hospital administrators, registered nurses. These 4 titles, they will work at our mental health and developmentally disabled centers and facilities that the state runs, all the way up north to Cook County and all the way down south in Anna, which is in Union County. They are 24/7 care facilities where we take care of the residents who can't take care of themselves. So we're really hard up for these 4 titles specifically. So if you fit the mold for these, please contact us. We'd be more than happy to help you. I can tell you for our registered nurses, our registered nurse 1 title, they start at right around $68,000 with no other experience beyond having a college degree and having your RN license and their full state benefits. Pretty lovely job, good pay to start out. Our social services career trainees work all across the state. They work in our what's more commonly known as public aid facilities, or we call them family community resource centers. They're the ones who help people sign up for Medicaid, TANF, food stamps, also known as Link Card. We need educators and dietitians and cooks to work at our facilities. So the cooks, they're responsible for making all the food for all the residents we have. We have a lot of residents. We want to make sure they eat healthy food. So the cooks prepare it. The dietitians make sure they are prepared to the right standards and needs of our residents. We care for our residents on a frontline basis. It's very similar to a CNA type role, but you do not need a CNA certificate. That's our mental health technician trainee title. They work with our residents in either a one-on-one or a group type setting. They just look over them. They get them to and from their meals, activities, things like that. They just keep them company and look after them. Our activity therapists, they're the ones who do therapeutic activities, as the title suggests, for our residents to make sure that they're getting better. And no matter where you're at in the state, we need office titles. So we have office assistants and office associates. These require no education beyond a high school diploma or similar. And they do the basic paperwork, they process mail, anything you can imagine. Our mental health technician trainees, you as well just need a high school education, and we are in a big need for these titles. Our accountants, you need a 4-year degree in accounting or 4 years worth of accounting experience in the private sector. These mainly work in Springfield or in Cook County, so Sangamon or Cook counties. Last but not least, we need social workers. All of our social workers titles require a master's degree. If you have a clinical certification, you can apply for our social worker 4 title, which pays very, very well. But this is just a list of some of our job titles. We have many, many more. So chances are, no matter what your background is, we have something at the department that you can apply for. Next slide, please. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our benefits. We are state government, and we have a union negotiated contract. So we have really, really excellent benefits that are second to none to almost anyone else. Working for us is a very diverse, challenging, and rewarding experience. 53% of our workforce is diverse in some way, shape, or form. It's challenging because every day is different, and it's rewarding because you're helping better the lives of your fellow people in Illinois. We have very fantastic health insurance, and we also have vision and dental plans. Our health insurance, we have HMOs, we have open access plans. We pay a very, very small part of our premiums or doctor's visit. We get all the holidays because we're government, of course. You earn 12 sick days a year. You start off with 2 weeks of vacation and moves up to 3 weeks after the first 5 years. You have 3 personal days to use however the heck you want. And we do have a state pension. We're one of the last places that offers a pension besides some firefighters and policeman jobs. So that's something to look forward to if you're looking into your retirement, what you're going to do down the road. We also have something called deferred compensation, which are 457 plans. They're similar to 401ks, but they're pre or post-tax options. There's a huge flexibility to change careers with the state. So if you get in on your job and you want to change to something different, heck, you want to even switch to a whole nother agency, you can, because working for the state is like working under one giant umbrella. All the agencies are tied together. Once you get in and certified in a union covered title, you can switch pretty easily, or you can transfer as you want. We offer tuition reimbursement. If you need to go back to college for a certain job title, we'll help pay for that tuition. We also are qualified for the Federal Public Service Loan Forgiveness Plan. So if you work 10 years with the states and make 10 years worth of qualifying payments, the rest of your student loan balance is forgiven. If you're bilingual, we will pay you an extra 5% on top of your regular salary. And almost all of our positions are 37.5 hours. So you get a little more time to spend on yourself rather than at work. Next, please. So what's next? Feel free to contact the Illinois Department of Human Services recruitment team at any time. We are more than happy to help you with any questions. If we don't have the answers, we will track down the answers for you. Our email is dhs.recruitment@illinois.gov. And the search for our jobs, all of our jobs are posted at dhs.state.il.us/jobs. So if you go to that URL, that'll take you directly to all the current jobs and vacancies we have posted for the whole Illinois Department of Human Services. We also have a really good DHS recruitment page where we have recordings of presentations, frequently asked questions. It's chock full of really great information that we've put together, and it's a really handy resource for state employment. So that website is dhs.state.il.us. That takes you to the Illinois Department of Human Services homepage. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a banner that says we are hiring. So I look forward to talking to anyone and everyone that wants to talk to me in the breakout sessions. So thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Jesse. And as Jesse just stated, want to reiterate that we will be holding breakout room sessions after all of our employers have presented, during which time, of course, you'll be able to meet with these folks, ask them any questions that you have, hopefully spark a connection with these folks and land your next career. Thank you so much, Jesse. Our next presenter for today will be Bridgestone. And Trevor, are you able to present?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can, sir. You can begin whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, thank you all for having us. Thank you for your time today. Thank you, veterans, for your service to our country. We are Bridgestone, Bridgestone Bloomington Off-Road Tire Plant on the corner of Veterans Parkway and Fort Jesse in Normal, Illinois. Our plant has been building tires in this community for 56 plus years now. So we're proud to be here in this community. We have opportunities. You can move on to the next slide. Okay, some basic ideas, who we are as a company, what our portfolio is, and a little bit more into the plant. Be happy to share that next. Who is Bridgestone? Next. So this tells you a little bit of all that we do as a company. So we are Bridgestone Japan out of Tokyo. Our American headquarters is out of Nashville, Tennessee. We have about 55,000 American teammates and quite a diverse portfolio here. We do anything from a passenger tire to conveyor belts to golf balls, rubber pond liners, roofing. And then if here in Bloomington Normal, we build construction and mining tires. We actually build the world's strongest tire. It's about 13 feet tall here at this plant in Normal, Illinois. Next. So as you can see, my numbers do match. That's a good thing. 55,000 American teammates, globally 143,000 plus total employees globally for Bridgestone Japan. You can see we have about 53 manufacturing plants, about 163 globally. Akron, Ohio is a big hub for our R&D research and development here in the Americas. We have 6 total and then 17 global. So the makeup you can see is about 47% of our net sales comes out of the American operations, and the others you can see from our global positioning. Next. We talked a little bit about this earlier. We are a company that is more than just tires. So a lot of you probably recognize the Firestone name. That goes back to 1900 with all of our retail stores and a lot of the cities and communities. But we do a lot more than that. Roofing. We have a rubber plantation in Liberia where we actually supply our own rubber, Firestone natural rubber, and a lot of different applications for our products for both the Bridgestone and Firestone brands. Next. So this gives you a little bit of a map of where our locations are. We've discussed this a little bit already. We have quite a footprint, specifically in central to southern North America, as you can see. So you can see where we're located. Next. Some of our brand partnerships. Go ahead. Bloomington OTR, that is us. Next. So this gives you a little bit of history. Shihiro Ishibashi was the founder of Bridgestone in Japan in 1931. He was actually a fan of Harvey Firestone's work in America. Harvey Firestone was a friend of Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. He started Firestone Tire and Rubber in Akron in 1900. We are proud to be a partnership of both of these companies and have had a lot of years of success over the years. Thanks. Next. So this gives you a little bit of a scale of what we do in tire sizes. So we have passenger tire plants in Aiken, South Carolina and Wilson, North Carolina. We have truck and bus tire plants in Tennessee, ag tire plant in Des Moines, Iowa, and then we are the only American construction and mining tire plant for Bridgestone Firestone here in Normal, Illinois, snuggled in here right next to Komatsu and Caterpillar and some of our other partnerships for business. So that tire there that you see is built here in this plant, and that is a giant loader tire, 13 feet tall, 6 feet wide, about 15,000 pounds, and we build that by hand here in Normal, Illinois. Next. Some of the history through the years, like we mentioned, Harvey Firestone was an actual buggy salesman who wanted to rubberize tires, so he partnered with some of his friends And we put the first tires on the Model T, lots of years of success and racing with Firestone. And Firestone was also somewhat of a marketing genius, putting his name on anything and everything, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. So we had a lot of marketing partnerships, and you can see some of the history right here. Next. So yeah, our plant has been here building tires since August of 1965. You can see the top corner. One of our pictures, probably late 60s, early 70s, without a lot around the plant. And we've been building tires ever since. So 56 plus years. We build construction mining tires, both radial and bias. Have about 400 teammates currently in this union plant. Dominant union is the United Steelworkers Production Union. And then we have about 40 teammates that are maintenance as part of the Plumber and Pipe Fitters Local 99 union. So our location of Bloomington Normal, which is State Farm and Country Companies hub, we're pretty well nestled in the center of the state, about 2 hours from Chicago, about 2.5 hours from St. Louis and Indianapolis. Go Redbirds. Next. So here's some of our sporting partnerships. You've probably seen these on the TV or other marketing and advertising materials. We have been the main and prime sponsor in a lot of major sporting events, including the Olympics recently. And as you've seen with IndyCar racing, specifically our Firestone branding, that we've been a major part of the Indy 500 and Formula One Indy racing for many years. Next. So I just want to end with Bridgestone stating we have opportunities, good competitive pay and benefits. We are putting out a new sign-on bonus moving into December 1st of up to $3,000 for a sign-on bonus for production and maintenance opportunities. Tuition reimbursement, training pay, bebridgestone.com. bebridgestone.com is where our job openings are located. I will not be able to make out the breakout session, but I am going to give you my cell phone, which was probably somewhat unconventional. But I want to make sure if there's questions or comments or anything regarding our opportunities, you can call me directly, Trevor Brothers HR Manager, cell phone 217-620-3350, 217-620-3350. You can call me directly. I will answer any questions you have. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Trevor. And if you can go ahead and throw that information into the chat, if you don't mind, I think that would be fantastic. Just make sure that you select the everyone under the to tab. That way all the folks have access to it. Thank you so much, Trevor. Our next presenter and final presenter before we go ahead and enter the breakout rooms today will be Al Torfer. Sarah, are you available to present?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you, veterans, for your service. My name is Sarah Markham. I'm the HR generalist / recruiter. I handle the recruiting for our heavy construction locations in Iowa, Central and Southern Illinois, and Missouri, as well as our ag locations. And I also handle the recruiting on our Bartonville packaging location. Next, I'll introduce you. I also have Elizabeth Paluto on the call here, and I'll have her introduce herself.
Hi, Elizabeth here, HR Generalist Recruiter. I'm out of the Addison, Illinois location, and I service the heavy construction and SciTech Midway in Northern Illinois and Northwest Indiana. We also have Renee Perez on the call. She'll introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Renee Perez, and I'm also a HR Generalist Recruiter here at Al Torfer. I recruit for our power systems locations and our rental store locations, and that includes Illinois, North and Central, Chicagoland, as well as Indiana and Missouri and Iowa. Thanks,
Great.
Sarah.
Thank you. Next slide, please. So Al Torfer is a Caterpillar dealer, but we also have other product lines within our divisions. We service, sell, and rent equipment. Al Torfer is a family-owned third-generation company. In addition to our divisions, the industries we serve, so you see construction, agriculture, power systems, and truck shop, rental, and lift truck. But in addition to that, we also serve our landscaping and trades, manufacturing, material handling, mining, government, trucking as well. It's important to the Altorfer family to keep that family-owned small company feel all around, even though we are growing significantly. 1,200 employees call Altorfer their work family, with 36 locations throughout Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, and 2 counties in Indiana. The map that you see right here displays all of our territory that we cover. Next slide, please. So we have quite a large range of available jobs. First and foremost, we're always looking for technicians for all of our divisions. That is one of the positions that we're always hiring for. But in addition to that, we also have other positions available. Our administration departments, so finance, accounting, IT, safety, HR, marketing, and office administration. We're also looking for sales reps in all of our divisions. That includes outside sales reps, inside sales reps, and sales management. You'll also see that we're looking for individuals for our parts and warehouse. And then obviously with our service side, we're looking for shop technicians, field technicians, product support sales, service management, parts management, and sales and rental management. Some of the other additional career services that we have are service coordinator, service supervisor, hose technicians, yard facilitators, and parts counter specialists. Next slide, please. So we also offer some specialized programs. If you, are looking to go back to school, we have our Think Big program, which is our Caterpillar Dealer Service Technology program. It's a 2-year program that is a little bit different. It rotates 8 weeks of in-school training, and that's at Illinois Central College in Peoria, and then 8 weeks of interning. So that just keeps rotating back and forth throughout the 2-year program, and then you get your associates in applied science. In addition to that, we also have our sales academy that'll help kickstart your sales career with our Altorfer Rents division. And then we also have, we partner with other local community colleges on our ag division. So if you're looking to become an ag technician, we also offer tuition reimbursement with both our Think Big program and with being sponsoring our ag technicians. Next slide, please. So the benefits that we offer here at Altorfer is a wide range. We offer our medical, dental, and vision, paid holidays, PTO, and sick and vacation. We offer retirement plans, employee discounts, flexible spending accounts, parental leave, tuition reimbursement, and we also have an employee assistance program. Next slide, please. So how to find our positions and connect with us? You can go to careers/altorfer.isims.com, or you can also go to our website, which is altorfer.com, and then click on careers. This will take you to our career hub, and where you can search for our wide range of career opportunities and based on location. If we don't have a position available at the time in the area that you're looking for, you can always click on that Connect with Us, and that allows you to select the areas that you're interested in. And when a position becomes available, our site will send you an email with the link, so that way you can apply directly to that position. Next slide, please. So just to reiterate, who to contact. This is all of our contact information. You can reach us by email or by phone. And if you reach out to one of us and we, you're in a different location than us, we can redirect you to who you should be partnering with. But we look forward to speaking with you all in our breakout rooms. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Sarah and the team over at Altorfer for your presentation. And with the conclusion of Altorfer's presentation, we're actually going to go ahead and delve right into our breakout rooms portion of the event here. One thing that'll be a little bit different today, because we lost Bridgestone, unfortunately, I think we're going to go ahead and cut down the time of our breakout room. So we're going to go down from 30 minutes down to 20 minutes for the breakout room session today. But before we delve into that, what we'll go ahead and do is just give you kind of a real brief overview of what to expect, especially if you're a job seeker on the call, encountering this platform or format for the first time. Again, if you were here with us at the beginning, this slide should be familiar to you. As you see here, we do encourage you to have the most recent version of Zoom Client for Meetings downloaded. You can do so at the link provided, zoom.us/download. Again, this will allow you to be able to utilize all of the most recent features that Zoom has to offer, more specifically when using the breakout rooms feature, and the most notable feature of which would be the ability to move from room to room while the session's taking place. You'll see here the next slide is just kind of a few screenshots that I wanted to share with you folks, kind of outlining how to join a breakout room, if you will. One thing to note here, the screenshots that I have used for this slide in particular are coming from my laptop. So if you're joining via laptop, desktop, that is what you should see on your screen. When you move your cursor, it should bring up this toolbar. Excuse me, there we go. Should bring up the toolbar either in the top of your screen or the bottom of your screen. When I open the breakout rooms, the icon that you see surrounded by the red square there should pop up. You'll click on that icon. What will then pop up is a window that you'll see here in the second screenshot, where you see room 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That will be the employers that we have on the line, which in this case will be IDES and Altorfer. You'll want to then, you'll see over here the red circle where we have join. You'll just click that join button for whichever room that you want to join, and then you'll rinse and repeat. So what I mean by that is, again, you'll go down to your toolbar, you'll click the breakout rooms icon, and then you'll click join for whatever room it is that you would like to join. One thing to note here, if you are joining via mobile device, so tablet, cell phone, something similar, you'll more than likely see what's off to the right-hand side of this breakout rooms icon here, which will be the More tab. You'll click on that. What should then pop up will be a drop-down menu off to the right-hand side. One of the options you'll see is breakout rooms. It's the same thing as what's on the desktop or laptop screen. You'll just click on the breakout rooms option. Again, the window should pop up, and then you'll follow the same process. You'll just click join to select the room that you want to join. And then again, rinse and repeat. You'll do the same thing to be able to join the other rooms that we do have available. Real quickly here, just give you a brief overview. Again, each of our employers that we still have on the line will be designated to their specific room. We will have a member of the planning team in the room there for basic troubleshooting purposes as well. Again, instead of a 30-minute session, we're going to have a 20-minute session. And again, assuming you have that most recent feature downloaded for Zoom, you'll be able to move freely throughout all employer rooms. One thing to note here as well, you will be able to unmute yourself. If you are a job seeker, you'll also be able to turn on your camera. Final piece to this is our ground rules here. Just be mindful of the time that you're taking. Again, there's other folks that would like to ask questions as well. So once you've unmuted yourself, you've asked your question, you received a response, please be sure to mute yourself and allow other folks to have the same opportunity. Again, you can turn on your camera, but please be mindful that everybody's going to be able to see what you're doing. So please keep it respectful. Please keep it professional. In the event that you choose to be disruptive and considerate, we do have a graduated process that we can follow here. As you see here, you will receive one verbal warning. If you choose to disregard that warning, you'll be placed permanently on mute. At that time, you'll still have the ability to ask questions through the chat, but please, keep in mind, you will no longer take priority status. the employer will answer your question as time permits. Again, if you choose to use the chat to cause further disruption, we do have the ability to eject you from the session entirely. And if that is the case, the way Zoom operates is that you will not be allowed or permitted reentry. Typically, we never have to do this, but just want folks to be aware that it is an option that we do have. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and open up the rooms. Again, I have set our countdown timer to 20 minutes. After the 20th minute has taken place, we have reached that, excuse me, we have a 60-second countdown timer. After that has elapsed, we'll be redirected back here, or you will be redirected back here into the main room, which we're in now, at which time I'll be covering the state of Illinois job website, kind of directing you to where you can find open opportunities that the state currently has available. And then we will round out the session with the closing statement. And again, that will complete the session for today. So I will put this screen up here for folks to reference to join a breakout room. If for whatever reason you're still having technical difficulties or issues joining a room, you can also drop the employer that you'd like to meet with into the chat, and I can manually send you to that room as well. So again, for today's purposes, we have DHS on the call and Altorfer on the call. So just let me know which of those you'd like to meet with, and I will send you there. Okay, what we're going to go ahead and do now is open up all the rooms. And again, if you have any issues, please feel free to drop me a message in the chat. And those rooms are open now for the job seekers that we do have on the call. Please feel free to join either the DHS or the Altorfer room. They are both open and available. Well, welcome back, folks. Looks like we do have a majority of the individuals from the breakout room back here in the main session. So there is one informational thing that I would like to cover with you before we round out this AM session here today. As you'll see on your screen, you'll see the workforillinois.gov website. You can find this by typing into your search engine, State of Illinois jobs, Work for Illinois. Those two methods would probably be your quickest and easiest means to get to this website. But when you do click on, again, that link, you'll be redirected here to the landing page. You'll see State of Illinois, excuse me, employment opportunities that are available. If you scroll down about halfway down the page here, you'll see a tab that'll say job opportunities, excuse me, or open vacancies. If you click on that, it'll redirect you here to this page that you see. And you can search that, you can search for jobs that are available by keyword, also by location, as you'll see here. One of the tabs in particular that we want to direct your attention to will be here. All the way off to the right-hand side, you'll see View All Jobs. If you click on that, you'll see all of the jobs that the state currently has available for folks to apply to. So you'll see here, if we highlight this, 703 jobs that are currently available for folks to apply to. Again, you can look through this complete list here. You can narrow your search results, as you'll see here, just like on the prior or previous page. You can narrow the search results by keyword. You can also narrow them by location. If we click show more options, you can see here, you can even further narrow the results down by the agencies, and then also by job function, as you'll see here as well. So a lot of opportunities out there, in addition to the ones that were shared with you by our folks in the private sector as well. So again, just want you to be aware of that resource that exists as well. Another thing to note is that we will be also hosting a PM session highlighting employers also in the Northwestern and Central Illinois region. That event will be taking place at 2 o'clock. You are more than welcome to join that session as well. Real quick here, we'll just name off some of the employers that we have slated to present during that session. We have Dot Foods, the Illinois Department of Corrections, Memorial Health System, University of Illinois, AT&T, and OSF Healthcare that'll be joining us for, again, that afternoon session that'll be taking place at 2 p.m. You can join using the link that you used to join for today's session as well. So thank you to all the employers who joined us today. Thank you for carving time out of your busy schedules to present all the information that you did today. To the job seekers and presumably veterans, again, we thank you as well for joining us today. We hope that the information that was shared with you will help you along with your job search and hopefully help you land your next dream job or career opportunity. Thank you all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.